innovation that's no longer measured by startup numbers alone, but by how effectively ideas move from labs to markets and from prototypes to globally competitive businesses. Karnataka has indeed built a very strong ecosystem linking entrepreneurs, researchers, investors, academia, and the government. The next challenge is to deepen leadership in AI, biotechnology, deep tech, and quantum computing, while also expanding opportunity beyond Bengaluru city. How can the state really build the next generation of global enterprise and reinforce its position as India's innovation capital? And to take that conversation forward, please join me in welcoming Nalin back on the stage, of course. And joining him is a leader who's been very instrumental in advancing Karnataka's startup technology and innovation ecosystem, strengthening its digital economy and creating new opportunities for entrepreneurs across the state. Please welcome Shri Priyank Kharge, Honorable Minister for Electronics, IT and BT, Rural Development, Panchayat Raj, Government of Karnataka. A huge round of applause.
A great pleasure to have you here, Mr. Kharge, on the stage of Rising Bharat. Thank you very much for joining us. Sir, Karnataka, Bengaluru is, of course, both India's technology capital and some say also its traffic capital. So as the minister in charge of both IT and of the Bengaluru Home Department and the Karnataka Home Department, how do you view this paradox?
Well, earlier I was holding the portfolios of IT and BT and rural development Panchayat Raj. But invariably, any conclave I go to, the first question was to be asked about traffic. And I used to bounce it off saying that, look, it's a question for the urban development minister. But now I've got the portfolio of the home, but traffic also comes to me now. So I can no longer wish it away. But having said that, I think Bengaluru is growing at a phenomenal pace. We have a population of over 1.4 crores, and we have a vehicle population equaling that. And the infrastructure is playing catch up to the growth. We are growing at a phenomenal rate of 8.5%, which is higher than the national average. And more importantly, we are scheduled to grow at this pace till 2035. So quite naturally, the infrastructure is playing catch up, and we are doing everything we can. We are setting up the north-south tunnel roads, east-west corridors, and we are adding close to around 95 kilometers of metro, 160 kilometers for suburban rail. We are ensuring that more people use public transport systems, and we are trying to get in new policies to ensure that more people use mass transit systems. And now what we're also doing is that we are putting up a urban mobility mission. So while the bigger infrastructure like making the peripheral ring road or the business corridors or ensuring that we bring in the tunnel road, all that will take time. But what is it that I can do right away with the problems plaguing mobility? So we are forming a very quick mission mode committee which will involve all stakeholders. It could be your e-commerce or quick commerce people. It could be people like Move and Sync, who are fleet managers, think tanks, the traffic police, the BBMP or the GBA commissioners. So everybody who is involved in mobility will be on that mission mode committee. And the idea is not to give something very fancy which will be 2050, 2060. There is a problem now, how can I sort it out? So we are trying our best to do that. And like I said, because we are creating so many opportunities through technologies, through GCCs. So we are also absorbing the highest migrant population here. So it's a challenge that any government will have to face, but we are ready with it. And probably in the next few months, you will see a little more easing of the traffic with the systematic changes that we are going to bring in through this urban mobility mission that we are planning.
Mr. Kharge, the minister from Telangana, Mr. Babu, was here earlier this morning at Rising Bharat. I think he met you as well, separately. He made the point that one of the reasons why Hyderabad has been getting a lot more GCCs in the last year or 2 years and he traced it back to infrastructure and the investment they had made in the ring road around Hyderabad, which was a large investment, but over a period of time that's helped ease congestion and so on, and that led to a lot of other gains. Any thinking around something like that for Bengaluru?
No, see, firstly, I don't know where you're getting your data from, because the highest office space leasing that has happened in India is in Bengaluru for GCCs. Just last year, more than 12 million square feet we have leased out. And the highest number of GCCs that are in India, over 40% of them are in Bengaluru. I'll give you one small example, not my data, Modi ji ka hai. So, close to around, we have close to around 6 lakh crore IT exports. You know who's my closest competitor? My neighbor, Telangana. And theirs is approaching 2.8 lakh crores. 40% of all engineering and research and development human resource are here. Startups, out of $303 billion of valued the funding that we have got, $180 billion is in Karnataka. So while we love competition, the data speaks otherwise. And we are fiercely competitive, especially the south states. So as soon as we get to know that you are investing in Andhra, we'll give you more subsidies, we'll give you more incentives, we'll try to recourse some of our policies, some of our incentives. But Karnataka is very clear that we would not want to come up with any incentives, subsidies or policies that is a race to the bottom, like some of my neighbors are doing. We are very clear that we have what it takes to build world-class innovations and inventions. We know how it is to cater to geographies across the globe. We have India's most agile human resource, and we are ready to skill, reskill, upskill them, and do whatever it takes to ensure that we deliver on scale sustainably for geographies. And I think that's something that we are doing immensely well. We have, like the Queen City that is coming up, we are treating the old IT parks as a brownfield so that we ensure that we give all the civic communities for them, whether it is digital infrastructure or mobility or last mile connectivity. And we are talking to GCCs directly. We are talking to, we have a global innovation alliance with 40 countries. So while any city, any state can claim that they are competing with us, we are happy, but we are competing with in the global scenario.
In terms of the global scenario and also in terms of talent that you talked about, there has been some conversation around setting up an AI university, I understand, in Karnataka. Can you tell us a bit more about where that conversation is, and also is Anthropic going to play a role in that?
We have the second highest talent in AI in the world. And the good thing about our demography is the agility that we have. Like I said, they're ready to be reskill, unlearn, relearn, unlearn again. And this is something that the demography here is good at, and the government intends to support it. So that's why we are coming up with just not AI in all emerging technologies across sectors. So the AI university will not only have academic value to it, but also we intend to have research and development in there. We want to have incubators put in there. We want centers of excellence in there. See, right now AI is being used in a very limited way to disrupt processes in enterprise solutions and other things. But it's just a matter of time that it will come to governance, it will come to health, it will come to space sector, it will come to defense sector, it will come to manufacturing. And are we ready for it? If I need to be ready for it, I need to ensure that we have enough trained personnel, we have enough trainers, we have enough faculty, we have enough research that is going on, and more importantly, there are enough startups who are going to work on these innovations, who are going to work on the knowledge that is available. So the AI university will be a phygital, all-encompassing disruptive university for emerging technologies across the sector.
So any possibility of collaboration with Anthropic or other companies?
Anybody,
for
we
that?
are agnostic. Anthropic, Gemini, any OpenAI, anybody who wants to collaborate with the government, we will be interested in. Because I have the appetite. Right from agriculture to aerospace, anything that you want to do, I'm capable of doing it here in my state of Karnataka. So I run 20 centers of excellence. Cybersecurity, animation, your Fintech, agri-tech. So we are agnostic. Anybody who wants to have the next generation of models built using government public infrastructure or government data sets, we are ready to experiment with them as well in a very regulatory sandbox environment.
So, in terms of infrastructure, coming back to infrastructure, the Beyond Bengaluru initiative has been discussed for years. Now, there are many projects like the proposed tech park in, say, Bengaluru, which they remain at a proposal stage. Some tenders have also fallen through and so on. So, how do you plan to encourage companies or investors to expand beyond Bengaluru for a wider development across Karnataka?
Like I said, please go by the data that is there. Mysuru is delivering close to around 4,000 crores in IT exports. Mangaluru is delivering 2,500 crores. Hubli Dharwad sector, Belgavi sector, close to around 2,000 crores. And we have more than 8 GCCs in Mangaluru. We have one of the biggest setup of a Denmark health science company, which is working out of Bengaluru. 800 people work there. More than 30 Danish nationals reside in Bengaluru. They go surfing in the morning and they come to work in the city by 11 o'clock. And we are seeing this shift. So the idea of the government of Karnataka is, instead of investments coming or talent coming to where investments are, investment should go where talent is. So today we are setting up nano GCCs across cities, we are setting up incubation centers, we are setting up geography-based, demand-based centers of excellence, so that innovations happens across the state. And no state in India has as much as we do. So when you speak, let's say quantum. Now, quantum center is in IIT Dharwad. Artificial intelligence is in IIT Raichur, IIT Dharwad, Mysore in cybersecurity. My marine biotech center of excellence is in Mangaluru. So we are spreading ourselves everywhere. Chikbalapur has the Drone Federation of India's testing center. We are coming up with the EV testing center in just outside Bengaluru. So like in Kalburgi, we have the Agri-Tech Accelerator. So based on the geography, based on the talent available, and based on the interest of the local people, we are building these institutes. And it's working well for us.
So, one of the areas where both your portfolios intersect is in the area of the gig economy. Things like with QuickCom, with 10-minute delivery startup and so on, which sometimes can lead to traffic violations. There have been issues around that in Bengaluru in particular. So how do you view that particular challenge? And any measures the government is considering to balance road safety with the growth of the gig economy and save the safety of workers and so on?
Well, that's a very difficult thing to do, because in the era of quick delivery and 10-minute delivery, quite naturally everybody is in a hurry. Although we have advocated this to the quick commerce company, there's still a lot of violations that happen. So although we find them, they do it again, considering our civic senses. So this time what we have done is, unko bita ke 4 ghante ka lecture dete hain. I'm serious. So we give them 4 hours lecture on traffic safety. 4 hours they are not on their bike, it hits their economy. We don't want to do it, but unfortunately we are forced to do it. You know what is the fines that the city of Bengaluru owes the department? Anybody wants to take a guess? Anybody? Sorry? Yes, you can give me a number, please. Sorry? 2 lakh crores. That's beyond it's a lot of North Indian small states budget. No, 2,727 crores. Now, if I enforce that, I will lose the next election. But if I keep quiet, you will say I'm a bad minister. And throughout the state, it is around 3,700 crores. More than 7.7 crore violations happen. And this is continuously happening. ये इतना हो रहा था that we offered 50% discount. I'm not kidding. And people paid up. But that's not the way to do things. So, while traffic violations is extremely serious, we are trying to advocate to them. We are trying to enforce this across sectors. Just we can't blame just the gig economy people. If you actually look at that 2,700 crores that people owe, that will be a very small part of it. I wish all of us, if we intend Bengaluru to be a global city, we also intend to start behaving like global citizens. Otherwise, it becomes extremely difficult. I know I'm going to get trolled for it, but better civic sense should prevail among all of us.
That's an important point. So, Mr. Kharge, also the civic staff recently faced attacks while removing pavement encroachments in the city, in the business district, especially in Shivaji Nagar. I think your cabinet colleague, Mr. Krishna Gowda, is spearheading that drive. He was here with you a little bit earlier in the day. So, why has policing not kept pace with enforcement efforts and your plans to sort of improve coordination for things like this?
No, see, it's a stray incident, and they did ask for support, and we did support. Any encroachment demolition drive is always supported by the Department of Home. Of course, there were people, there were not enough people. Apparently, there was some guy who took up some responsibility of trying to overpower the officials. We don't accept that, and it is not. Everybody will be dealt extremely sternly with that. No, there is no kind of vigilantism that will be allowed in my state, whether it is with government officials or whether it is public. There is a law of the land that needs to be followed. If you don't know how to follow it, I will ensure you learn that. That is something that I'm extremely clear. So, irrespective of who it was who did that, where are they now? They're all behind bars. There was an incident yesterday about one of our own party men throwing an egg at BJP. We don't accept that. We have booked cases. 9 people are inside.
You take action against them?
Yes, of course. I took action against them. Similarly, one MLA threw a hollow block yesterday. A BJP MLA, MLC threw a hollow block. We booked a case. See, you cannot take law in your hands. If you are doing that, then what's my job? And if your actions are going to have a cascading effect on the society, trust me, we will not keep quiet. Whichever party, whoever it is, however big they are, the law is same for everybody.
So can you tell us a little bit more about how your government is leveraging technology for more law enforcement, for policing, over traffic monitoring and enforcement? A little bit about your thoughts on that.
So we use extensive technology across all units of the police department, whether it's in cyber security, whether it is in traffic, whether it's in policing as well. So we have some of the best systems in place in India. In fact, the central government has appreciated most of our efforts. So, for example, little things like the visibility on streets during peak hours of traffic. So we have an app in which the traffic police guys should go within 10 minutes of his or her duty. If they don't log in by that time, we get to know that he's not there, and there's an alert sent saying that you're not there, you're not physically present. And we also use technology to see where there are, how we can ease out these long jams that are there. We have a portal, we have an AI system called Astram that we are leveraging to do that. So it's in process, and probably in the next couple of months you will see that easing out. And fraud detection, your deep fakes, all those things that are happening right now, your digital arrests. I think we are one of the best practitioners of using technology or leveraging technology for policing.
So in terms of things like carpooling, the Bengaluru Traffic Police has expressed support for it. The Transport Department decided existing regulations saying not really in favor of it. How do you resolve issues like that, and how does regulation keep pace with reality?
Like I mentioned earlier, for your first question, we are forming this urban mobility mission in which Transport Department also is a is also a member of that committee. So we are going to advocate the point that you made about carpooling. See, the act that is, the Transport Act that is there is quite primitive. It doesn't allow carpooling, it doesn't allow ride sharing. It was pre-Ola, Uber thing. So there are a lot of new practices that have evolved in public transport that needs to come in as an act, and we are going to advocate that. So probably that also in the next couple of months, in coordination with the Transport Department, will be done.
So coming back to the issues around tech and data centers, like you mentioned, the large legacy Bengaluru has, there are also issues around water and sustainability around that. What is your response to dealing with those kind of challenges with data centers, one? And two, sir, that how are you encouraging investments to move to other cities such as Bengaluru or Mysuru? Because Bangalore also has a water crisis. So how do you do a holistic sort of plan around this?
So we were one of the first states to come up with a data center policy. In fact, the first perhaps. And slowly we have realized that the policy might not be catering to the entire global scenario of going green. And that's why we are coming up with a sort of a policy course correction that it will be needed to, and coming up with a sustainable data center policy. There are adopting of new technologies like liquid cooling technology. Some people are suggesting adopting nuclear technology for that in a small way. The companies have approached us saying that they have better technologies that are more greener in nature. So we are trying to figure that out, how to come up with a sustainable data center policy. It is data centers, like is it's absolutely necessary. We cannot have we cannot say no to them, because the entire AI or any other emerging technology will be dependent on that. So in fact, in Bengaluru, we have identified 50 acres near Tanir Bavi, where it is close to the sea as well as another water body, so that we'll be able to leverage technologies to ensure that we are as sustainable as possible. So I do not have an affirmative answer on how we will be going forward to make that entirely sustainable, but we are working with everybody involved to ensure that we come up with the best possible policy to have sustainable data centers.
So Mr. Kharge, when you deal with the central government on issues around investments in tech, semiconductors, things like that, what is your sense of how the central government's approach is? Do you get enough support, or is there any gaps? Are there any gaps?
You know my opinion on that. अब पूछते हैं, मुझसे बुलवाते हैं, फिर controversy होता है. Everybody knows that any investment that comes to Karnataka or Tamil Nadu or Telangana is diverted big time. It goes to Modi ji's favorite states, and where there is no talent, where there is no... I'm not against investments going to other states, but when the investor is saying, मुझे यही जाना है, तो आप क्यों उसको बाहर भेज रहे हो? That's my only grouse. When as an investor you are saying, my top priority is Karnataka. When you go for incentives to Delhi, how does that become Gujarat? That's why, see, you can't arm twist, and that's what is happening. And we have, and the ecosystem that we have here, it was not built overnight. It's taken us decades. The talent pool that we have here, it has taken us decades. If today we are the 4th largest technology cluster in the world, it did not happen overnight. But unfortunately, the Prime Minister of India thinks he's only the Prime Minister of Gujarat. That's the problem.
Right. Well, on that note, a big hand for Mr. Kharge, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Mr. Kharge, for making the time.
Thank you so much.